just an alternate route. That's the task members. Wow, okay.
Oh, here we go. We're starting, actually.
And here we go, starting off. Again, this is a match between the 34 seed Silvite and the 53rd seed Kryptek in our Donkey Kong Country 2 Any Percent tournament. So yeah, again, you guys have probably watched enough of these matches. The first two worlds sort of built into the game are these natural warps. So there's not a lot going on for some of the levels. Other levels is actually a lot of interesting stuff going on. We might see something right here, at least by Silvite. We'll see if Kryptek is able to match him. Silvite, as you can see, oh no, actually,
wow,
I've got Kryptek on. Oh, Silvite, interesting.
Played it safe.
So we've got Silvite, yeah, Kryptek, the lower seed, actually taking a little bit of an advantage there by just a couple of seconds. Going for that wrong warp. I believe, Blunt, that saves like 3 seconds?
3 seconds, yeah. And you can just see right there, like, how much time you just saved over Silvite. Just by going for that.
It's interesting in learning this game. I thought, oh, there's no way that saves that much. I thought it maybe saved like a second. Just because of all the setup and everything.
Yeah, it is deceptive looking because you have to set it up, but it's just, you got to remember that you're skipping the transition, like the little transition between getting into the warp and then the end of the level, the area with the bananas. That actually takes time. I don't think any of them are going to go for top sale either.
I would assume less than half the runners in this tournament go for top sale.
No,
at least on a consistent basis.
It's not recommended. It's it requires a precise jump with the snake, and then like I think the setup's kind of tricky too. I don't really know too much about it.
I'm wondering right now, I don't know how well you know Silvite. It looks like he has taken it pretty safe across the board here in World 1, whereas Kryptek seemingly is going for almost everything.
Yeah.
They're still close to tied right now, but certainly a little odd with the runner with the better PB. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Silvite's pretty new. I think he's been playing maybe about a month or so. Like, I think he started around the time I started back up, which was like earlier last month. Oh, he lost Dixie.
Ooh, so that is... I've debated with myself how big of a time loss that actually is. Can you still do the 2-1 wrong warp if you have to double back after getting the DK barrel?
Yeah, I think you can, but I think it's just... it's really...
all the fakes. All of the fakes. That had to be about 6 fakes right there.
Yeah, he got really unlucky with the fakes, but like now he's gonna have to grab Dixie, which there's no DK barrel like right in the beginning of the stage. You kind of have to like go in a little bit. So
it's a little past the wrong warp area, which is right here at the start of the level. So we'll see what he elects to do here. Once again, grabbing Dixie right here. You're going to need 2 Kongs in order to do this. So it looks like he can set it back up. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's cool. That's actually interesting because I didn't know that was possible. That's good to know.
It's always interesting to find out exactly what, like, all the ways you can fail one of the wrong warps, actually. Because coming into the game, we think, oh, they're these horribly precise things. And they are, but there's actually all these backup ways to get around them. So, It does look like Silvite still having some strats. I still have trouble with that big boy right there in Cleaver, so he looks like he's able to get that.
The big boy was something that like suddenly just clicked with me one day because I couldn't figure it out either, and then just one day I was just able to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was messing with it this morning. I don't know. We'll get there, but it does look like the players. We got 3 more pretty straightforward levels here. Only thing to worry about is making sure you don't overshoot or undershoot this barrel that's up over the screen.
Yeah, that's a very warp to miss.
Kryptek is missing the little goal swap there. A little piece of tech right there called goal swapping, where you can basically run full speed or other ways of doing it into a goal, and then you can just press select, and it will give you your Kong swap and cut out the jump that you have to do, also setting you up for whatever Kong you might want in the next level. So Kryptek here, even though having the worst PB, worst overall times in the tournament so far, bringing a little bit of a lead with him into World 2. Probably, he's going to need a lot to go in his favor, just like everything was going in Partesian's. Oh, no, as we say that.
That's something that I don't do as well in the tournament. Like
I've noticed that.
Yeah, that's a risky. Well, I guess it's not risky if you know where to jump, but it seemed like he just overshot it barely. So now it looks like he's just barely behind Silvite just because of that mistake.
It's certainly a frustrating thing. You wonder mentally how that dawns, because when you know you're that behind in PB and your PB and your tournament matches so far, you really need like everything to go your way. You need to not be making any mistakes yourself.
Exactly.
You probably even have to go for more. So when you see that sort of thing happen, and that's certainly a frustrating death to have right there.
It looks
but
like
certainly a lot of tournament, a lot of race to go.
Neither of them went for Lava Fly either, which I didn't expect them to go for.
That's got to be one of the higher risk, lowest reward moments of the entire run.
Yes,
in this tournament,
I agree 100% on that. I think like unless you're 100% consistent with Lava Fly, I don't think you should go for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, obviously, because once again, there's a big difference between RTA attempts where you say, well, it's going to be like 5 minutes into the run. You know, if I miss it, that's really not the worst thing, even though I don't really want to have to face Crow again. In a tournament match, that could straight up cost you right there. Cost you the tournament match right there. And again, this is a loser's round match, so the loser of this will be going home. I want to remind you guys that we're actually going to have 8 matches for you today in DKC2. We're going to take a little break after this match we're calling right here, and then we're going to have basically 7 in a row, some even going on at the same time. So, yeah, here we are in 3-1. Lots of Rambi charging. Rambi got quite the upgrade from DKC1, and it's nice for it. Kryptek able to successfully dismount Rambi right before the no Rambi box. Being able to keep pace right here. Also noticing that he is throwing Dixie into a barrel, one of those barrel blasts, allowing them to pull off this glitch to fly over everything. Oh, and I didn't notice, I guess Silvite must have died somewhere. I didn't see it. Or maybe he just made an error because Kryptek is actually pulled back in the lead.
I think his cleaver fight was just a little bit slower.
Oh, okay. So
I know he missed one of the cannonball throws. So
yeah, that certainly can waste maybe a good like 5 seconds each time you miss it. Because then it can also compound the problem with throwing it into fireballs he'll have right there. So I know people have talked about it a lot. I mean, what do you... A lot of people will say this is the hardest level in the game. How do you feel about it?
Well, I get it is
hardest
really
to
hard
optimize.
Yes. Yeah, it's the hardest to optimize. You can't really... I mean, unless you're extremely careless, you can't really die. But it's just really hard to not hit these walls. Like, I mean, it's not a level that you would think you would have to put a lot of practice into, but you do, because anytime you hit a wall or something, you're like bleeding seconds everywhere.
Right.
So, I mean, I would say it's the hardest level to do well, or one of the hardest, not the hardest, but definitely one of the harder ones to optimize. And I think it's worth putting a decent amount of time into. At least getting like within 5 seconds of a good IL time, I would say.
It does look like both players had a pretty similar Glimmers Galleon there. Again, Kryptek keeping just a little bit of a lead. Both players, since you can swap your Kongs a little bit faster underwater than on the ground. Yep. You certainly want Diddy for this next level.
You can do a goal swap there at the end, but it's pretty precise, and I can understand them not wanting to go for it, because either you'll either get a Dixie fanfare, or you'll get hit by that Spiny at the end.
I have to say, I'm watching Kryptek right here, and I see the fact that he has a 54 PB. He does not look like a 54 player.
Yeah,
so
his sum of best is sub 50, so I think he's either been practicing or he just hasn't gotten his a good run together yet.
Sure.
Because, I mean, yeah, he is playing good, but he's playing it really safe. He's playing it... Oh, they're both playing extremely safe on the stage.
This is honestly the level I was most nervous about going into my tournament match yesterday with Xylo. I just said, I don't want to lose it on these crackheads.
Yeah, it's... They're they're pretty deceptive. They're like, you have to roll earlier than you think, and then you can't like roll too early. I think it'll eat your input if you're like just too early. I don't know. It's really strange. That's why I played safe at the end myself.
We'll see what kind of strats we're able to go through here for not slime climb, for a rattle battle right here. You don't have to implement a lot of snake tech in this level at the very least. There is some edge boosting and whatnot going on. For the most part, it's just understanding how to go through. A lot of it in a tournament match is knowing how to react, I think, when inevitably something goes wrong with one of the wonky hitboxes in this level.
This level is very punishing. Actually, when you see someone who doesn't make mistakes on this stage versus someone who's like playing it really safe, you actually lose a lot of time on this stage. It's crazy.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that this stage you can bleed just as much time as you can in like glimmers or something, just by like slowing down.
The main idea is basically Rattly moves faster in the air than he does on the ground. So the more time you spend in the air, the better for your run. It does look like finally he was able to hold on onto the lead there for quite a few levels. This looks like finally the level, again, nothing too damning happened to him, but it was just little time all over the place, having to react constantly. Like gave up the lead.
So you got Silvite here going for this wrong warp. First you have to despawn the water, which is that swap that he did underwater, like causes you to get this to store this like super jump when you take damage. So since he flew high up in the air, he was able to despawn the water to set up the IDs for the wrong warp here. Looks like they're both going to be fine.
Looks like, yeah, both the IDs set up pretty well. Looks like you just have to how far down? Oh, that was too early.
That was way too early, yeah. There's a visual cue that's on the wiki that's extremely useful. That solved all my problems when I got that. So now you're going to see Kryptek.
How well does he know this level? Because unfortunately, with that, and already loses Dixie there. Probably good to lead with Dixie because she is obviously the less useful Kong that you want to hold on to. Needs to watch out for these bees coming up. Ooh, dodges one right there.
I know, dude. I'm like having a heart attack here.
Oh. If there is anything worth learning here's tournament strats for you. Learn the second half of Slime Climb. Because this is the wrong warp. Sometimes it can just go wrong. We saw the very best Krauser messing it up at HDQ 2015. But really showed that he knew what to do after that. So,
looks like Silvite didn't do a vine clip either. I just wanted to point that out. He's he went straight for the maze skip.
He elected to not go for it. It's only a couple of pixels, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a big time save though, but unless you don't want to lose a Kong, because if you lose a Kong, then you actually have to do the Maze of Shame, and that takes much longer than just skipping the vine clip, of course.
Watching here on Kryptek's screen, obviously he needs to do some catching up right now. All of these instant blasts or quick blasts, each of them are actually only about a 3-frame window, and he hit all but one of them right there, so good for him. Interesting that he didn't just elect to grab Dixie at the beginning of the stage, because the death here obviously would have been very costly. It is going to cut out a little bit of a damage boost that he could have done at that area right there. He just passed by, but nothing too punishing right there. We'll see if he elects to go for Vine Clip or not. Judging by the strats he's using, I would imagine not, but he could. Let's see.
Ooh, he did go for it, and he just threw a little too low, it looks like. Oh, he went for the backup clip.
There's a backup clip? What God?
I think that's Luke that found that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
I was actually about to say, I think I somehow saw that last night, maybe by Luke.
Yeah, I think Luke found that. I don't know how that one works actually, but that's the backup. But he went right for it, and that was really nice. He got it first try.
That probably saved him just a little bit of time.
It's Dave. I'm sorry. That's right. Thank you. Sorry, Luke finds a lot of the stuff in this game.
So you assume, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Dave. Sorry. It does look like as Kryptek is just a couple of hits into the cudgel fight, it looks like Silvite is moving on from it. Neither player electing to go for the quick kill. The quick kill is a strat. I don't know. Personally, I'm happy it exists because it gives you something to talk about, if nothing else. Pretty interesting little strat. The creativity of counting Dixie's breaths, I always really like. But regardless, we're moving on. Kryptek just a little bit behind here. Silvite moving into the spider section. Going to try to get the scrolly scroll right here. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get it.
I think he can still get the spider here, which is what he's gonna do.
Oh, you wonder if this is worth it at this point. He was able to get it. Probably still can save himself time. The scrolly scroll saves quite a bit of time over doing this part casually. At the very least, probably is breaking even. But regardless, that is going to give Kryptek an opportunity to really drag himself back into this race. At least a good, probably that was close to 20 seconds lost.
Yeah, that's a scary thing there. Sometimes you'll miss the bee, and you'll take... If the bee is there above the barrel, there's no way you're getting that spider back. You either have to die or just play casually.
Yeah.
I don't know what's faster, to be honest.
I've been just like researching this game, just watching it a lot lately. And I actually went back and I went classic. I watched Twig HDQ 2013. And so once again, shout out to Twig. He unfortunately missed it in his run. I actually had a pretty good run for 2013 strats with old Bramble and whatnot in it.
44 or something, right?
Well, he's got a 44. It was actually a 4802, but he also just went ahead and did Chainlink Chamber. He did the whole level. Yeah, you would have thought hearing that time, oh, he must have died like 7 times or something. But regardless, here we are with Kryptek. Electing never got hit with the spiders, so he's going to set this up, get on the hook, the spider, and the web all at the same time, dismount it, and here we go with the scrolly scroll. This has got to make him up a good 20 seconds right here. Successfully cleared the bee, and is electing to not take the barrel right there, saving himself about another half second. That was a very good climb by him. Again, I'm very impressed. I was not expecting this out of a player with only a 54. I imagine... Well, actually, yeah, looking at his splits right now, he is a full 44 seconds behind. I would imagine he's got quite a bit of time saved coming up late in later levels.
I want to say that he's able to, like, just by the way he's playing, like, his gold split for this segment can be beaten by a lot. It looks like maybe he hasn't gotten Bramble first try or something.
Or maybe Mudhole first try. This is, I mean... This was the world. Do you find this the hardest world in the run?
Yeah, I would say so, just because, like, you got Hornet Hole, which can go either really good or really bad. Then you got the auto-scrollers, which you got to pay attention to. And then you got Brambler, and then Mudhole, and then Ramby Rumble's, like, not too bad, but the first half can be kind of scary, I guess, if it goes wrong.
Yeah, it's one of those where the backup I find is so much more scary than the actual big boy. But here we are. It looks like Silvite electing to climb slowly up the rope to not screw up his IDs for this wrong warp. We'll see. This has infinite potential. He is getting it first try, though. He should have it all set up as long as he throws it correctly, and he is out first try.
That's good.
Somewhere El Magus is crying. What was that, about 11th try last night?
Man. I felt so bad because, like, I don't think I've ever seen him mess that trick up.
He said he had been doing runs all week, prepping for the match, trying to get a 42, and he hadn't missed it all week. It was one of those, I'm sure, kind of like I felt, sometimes the wrong warps just feel finicky in this game. Like when I messed up Chainlink Chamber for like 7 minutes on a run the other night. It sounds like we determined that was special circumstances, but...
Yeah, but still, like, when you mess it up, your mind's automatically going to go to, oh, like, you're going to start second-guessing your stuff, and then when you do that, that's when things get worse, is when you're second-guessing. You need to just try to be as confident as possible, even when you mess it up. Just go for it and pretend like it's your first try every time. That's
taking the death. This is a big opportunity for Kryptek, and is unfortunately not able to capitalize on it. Through the beetle just a little bit too early.
That's okay. So that guy right there.
Did he die to second place guy?
Yeah, he's okay. Ever since I came back to this game, he's been owning me like every single time. So what I do now is I intentionally run into the back of him twice before running into him, just so I can avoid that whole thing. Because the jump after, like if you're supposed to be optimizing like your jumps here, like jumping down the hills to gain a little bit of speed. Like if you lose a little bit of speed somewhere, that can mess up that whole thing. I think just being off by a little bit can really mess that up. So I think you can get it now. Okay, yeah. See,
there you go.
Yeah, because the last time he jumped on him, when he jumped on him, he like fell right off, so he didn't even land on the tracks. So his movement was a little bit off there in the last try. So Kryptek got the wrong warp, by the way.
He was able to get it second try. So while not making up all the time, he could have basically been tied with him right now. Instead, he probably still made. I mean, that was probably close to like a 50-second death or so. Ooh, having a little bit of trouble right here. Okay, almost died to the third place guy. But was able to probably make up a good like 20 seconds there, getting it second try. Second place guy giving him some issues as well. All right, he's able to get past him. In my race yesterday, I bumped up against the second place and the first place guys. And just, at that point, just let them have the lead for a little bit is the best play you can make.
It's like Silvite's taking the invincibility barrel, which is fine. That eagle pit is really, really tough to navigate through if you don't know what you're doing.
That is, to me, along with pretty much all of Web Woods, I think maybe the hardest single platforming segment in the entire run. So it's really, as far as I'm concerned, as long as you can get through it, then good for you. Does look like Silvite has his ID set up correctly. He's gonna have to go back a little bit for the cannonball here, but that should work for him. He is out. He has the wrong warp. He is able to, despite the rickety race death, is able to get both of the wrong warps in this world first try. So that's big, big money for him. Coming up here on the big boy himself. Let's see if he's able to get it. Able to skip him about half of this first half of the level, and he's able to do it as well. So if it isn't for a bad, he had a bad rickety race and lost the spider for a while. So kind of an interesting World 4, if nothing else, for him right now. So once again, go ahead.
I was gonna say Kryptek is actually going for a lot of really optimal strats here. He went for the optimal eagle pit. He messed it up, but he still was able to navigate through it without taking damage. But his strats it's crazy. His strats
They're
really...
not a 54, dude. This is...
Yeah, I know.
He looks about as good a strats as I go for, even better, because I take Christmas birds there.
Yes, which also shout-outs to Christmas for saving me, because like I was doing the optimal eagle pit, and I just kept losing runs there and kept dying there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the savior strat, I guess you could say.
How much time does it lose? Like 2 seconds or something?
I think so. I know it's not much slower because when I timed an IL of it, I think I'm still like within 5 seconds of the best IL on the sheet. And that's like, of course, them going for the best rolls, the crazy rolls where you roll under the barrel. He did that as well, which Kryptek was doing. He goes for way more optimal strats than even I do.
It's kind of one of those interesting play styles. I mean, some runners, like, I know I'm very much going to learn strats almost like one at a time. Ooh, Silvite, a little bit of trouble there. This is kind of a boss that if you stay on script, it's pretty simple. But once you miss one hit, it completely goes off script and you have to implement a lot of improv. So not a full boss fight behind here. Ooh, taking a hit. Not what you want to do. This will leave Dixie in front for the start of the next level. So he's going to have to divert just a little bit out of the way. Ooh, Kryptek not able to capitalize himself here.
Having a little bit of a hard time with King's Instinct. I always practice this boss before runs because this is one boss that can lose you a lot of time just from going off script. And it's even scarier when it goes off script because,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't know what to expect.
So like Kryptek also took kind of a silly hit back there. It's kind of a small hitbox. You really have to hit his stinger, at least kind of the bottom side of his butt, for lack of a better term. So This is pretty scary here. He is off script. This bee is going everywhere.
The thing that the parrot shoots, the hitbox is really deceptive on it too. The hitbox is actually on the bottom of it, like the very, very bottom of the sprite. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's easy to, like, you know, mistime your shot.
So yeah, once again, a little bit of a lost opportunity right there. Kryptek with a little bit of a gold split for him right there, so good for him.
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying.
Oh, and takes the death with Dixie right at the beginning. Again, always when you're a little bit... I brought this up sometime recently. I think it was maybe in one of my streams where I said, I feel like Donkey Kong Country 2 players should be required to do a all Dixie run, just to like be better prepared for situations like that. Because you think, oh, okay, Dixie probably can make this same distance that Diddy can, but just a couple of pixels short, and you end up taking a really silly death right there.
That's one of the more interesting things about the speedrun, in my opinion, is when you lose a Kong, you kind of have to like go off script for a little bit, but you're slowly bleeding time everywhere, of course. But
right.
I think you're right. Like, if somebody were to just practice the stages as Dixie, and kind of have an idea like what to do, you'll lose less time. You'll still lose time. You'll lose less time.
It's certainly not to poke too much fun at Kryptek. As you can see, he's got a 54. He's relatively new to the game. We have 2 new runners to the game, so
he's got 2
certainly understandable. But you look at top tier runners of this game, I guarantee you, it's just like when I saw Krauser go through Slime Climb at AGDQ 15. It's like he knew what he was doing. He knew how to get through that level. Other people I know Dragon Ball Joseph talked about how he had, or maybe it was Claude, one of them had somebody teach them how to go through the Maze of Shame in Bramble Blast, just so they knew, okay, let me lose 20 seconds optimally here instead of 40 going around not knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling. I feel like when you're doing a race for a big event like that, it's important to know all the backups for everything, for every situation.
So here we are. You know, at the beginning of the day, we said, well, there was close to a 10-minute spread on what these runners have. I'm not sure what their PBs are off the top of my head, but a 10-minute spread on these runners in just their performances so far. And you've got right here, still Kryptek, like, not going away from Silvite. If he has one more death, and loses Diddy right there on a porcupine.
This is the stage you don't want to lose Diddy on either.
Absolutely not.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes it just as I was gonna say, this cannonball guy coming up is gonna be scary with Dixie.
It's a different feel there. I know that exact feeling. That's why I'm.
Thankfully, like, that was right after the checkpoint. He smartly got the checkpoint right there, so not going to lose him a bunch of time. But again, his lead is really not big enough to where you can just like shake those off in terms of how it affects the race. So, because before you know it, once again, he's into a relatively short platforming stage right here in Gusty Glade, and he's on the same level now as Kryptek. So again, 10-minute spread going into it, Kryptek keeping pace. A lot's going to come down to this gauntlet right here.
Looks like Silva took the Dixie ending, which it only saves like a second till you do the Diddy ending.
Which is only because of the goal swap, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Diddy's a little faster, of course, so you want to go through the stage with Diddy as often as possible.
Right. We do have first of 2 big stages here for Silvite. He can really create a grab. Unfortunately, loses Dixie right there. That is going to be a death for him.
This is all right. So like this is Kryptek's chance to really catch up here. And not only if he does this deathless, he's gonna save 2 minutes on this split.
Ooh, electing to go for the the Diddy ending does the team up right into it. All right, moving in, getting the DK coin, moving across the barrels, and he's going for the goal swap right there.
Silvite took more damage. He's gonna have to play this midpoint section safe now.
And once again, we are on the same stage. Big opportunity for Kryptek right here.
Looks like Silvite goes for the same strats I do, the 2 damage strat.
Oh, you use a 2 damage instead of a 3 damage?
Yeah, I think it's 2 damage, right?
Oh, unfortunately. Kryptek with the exact same death as Silvite. And Silvite, despite the death, he is matched by his opponent.
This is quite the race.
I gotta tell you, these races have been absolutely insane. Super fun to watch, especially last night, and today's really shaping up good as well. Again, you would have thought, all right, we're looking at probably what's not going to be that tight of a race. Instead, here we are. Ooh, losing Dixie right there. He's going to have to do... They are having identical parachute panics. Just absolutely
this
identical.
Is another stage that you probably should practice before runs as well, because it's... You think you're good at it, but like sometimes you'll get, whoa, what is this? I've never seen this before. Kryptek strat. That's pretty cool. That's an interesting way to do
that. All right.
That's a nice little back. I don't know if that was a backup or if that's a strat. I think it was a backup. That's really good. Oh no!
Oh no, dude! He went right too early. I am of the crew that just goes left still, even though I know right is optimal. Right then left. Oh, that is very unfortunate for him. Squandering a golden opportunity here, actually. We weren't quite able to pull off the upset last night in Parisian player taking on El Megus, despite it coming right down to the final level, right down to Screech's sprint. Can Kryptek pull it off right here? It does look like Silvite with relatively safe strats here for Webwoods.
I was just going to say, he's doing extremely safe strats in Webwoods. I remember him saying he was struggling a lot with this stage. Again, that's pretty common, I think, for new runners who don't really have any sort of donkey experience to deal with, like, Webwoods. It's just really, it's really hard to like get it down, in my opinion.
Ooh, looks like, okay. Kryptek able to not lose his second Kong right there, able to keep Diddy.
I'm interested to see how Kryptek does this stage.
Yeah, because once again, you have the opportunity to make up some time here if he goes for more.
He looks very confident so far, I think.
It's always hard to tell until you hit that first pit. Everybody looks pretty confident in this stage. Then you see a pit and you're like, all right, just a second. Just clear a few
it looks like he's playing it pretty safe too. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really blame them. I think maybe they just don't want to get caught in an infinite, but it looks like Kryptek is gonna go through this stage just a bit faster, I think.
I have seen players, we're talking about 2 relatively new players here. I've seen players of all sorts of skill levels over the last few weeks get absolutely bodied by this stage. So I'm not gonna. That is maybe the most common spot where I see an insta-web just not come out, at least for me personally. And that's from, I'm assuming, just not going far enough right.
Now we got Arctic on the left screen here, or on Silvite's screen.
Yeah, we sort of glossed over Crow 2 right there. We'll talk about it a little bit once Kryptek's able to get there. But I'm sure certainly, it looks like Kryptek is here in chat. Looks like he's probably paying attention to at least our commentary or watching what's going on in the race himself. Sure, a little bit frustrating that he was not able to have a better little gauntlet right here, knowing that there were some opportunities. There's still certainly a big gauntlet here at the end of World 6 that they're both going to have to go through, so certainly the race is not over yet.
Silvite's Arctic isn't too bad so far. He hasn't taken... I don't think he's taken any damage.
No silly hits.
Messed up the ending there, though, but that's fine. I think Arctic's another like deceptive. It looks deceptively easy, I guess, but it's just the fish's hitbox is something you kind of got to get used to.
It is down to the only level I still have not learned in any way for this tournament. Oh, Kryptek creating just a few too many webs there and then getting rid of the one he was standing on.
That's another like interesting thing about this the spider in this game. Or at least from what I've noticed, I think like sometimes you'll lose the web that you're standing on. I guess I don't know what exactly determines the web to disappear from under you. But I know that's like a weird thing in this game if you're like doing too many webs or creating them like too fast or something. And again, like this stage, like when you die near the end, you pretty much have to do most of the stage again because the midpoint is
it's the most garbage midpoint barrel in the history of video games.
Yeah, it's kind of rough near the end.
Because it puts you over like a single little midget pit right beforehand, and then you still have to cross both of the big bee pits and the eagle pit. The whole thing again. You don't feel like, all right, well, I at least, because there's a certain amount in this game, like I've seen people take a death right after the checkpoint barrel, like in Arctic Abyss, and you say, well, okay, you know, I cleared most of the level there, or there's just a little bit left for me to go, or I just died. It's never that feeling with Webwoods. You're almost never dying right after that checkpoint. It's usually deep into the level.
Yeah. It looks like Silvite took damage right at the end of Windy Well there, which kind of sucks because now he has to go back to Arctic to get another Kong for the setup for the next stage.
Yeah, costs him right at about 10 seconds right there. Looks like Kryptek, ooh, little scary right there, just running into the crow. Obviously, he got the left spawn there, which does suck, but if he had been just a little bit different position, it would have bonked him off into the pit. I've certainly done that a couple of times.
Ride your elevator update.
And welcome everyone to Castle Crush. I bring this up all the time. DKC2 speedrunners are so lucky, because DKC3 would be a more popular speed game than DKC2 if this skip didn't exist. I kid you not.
I don't even remember like the rest of the stage. Like I heard it's kind of hard, but like ever since I started speedrunning this, I don't think I've played through this stage casually.
Dude,
in like a long time.
We should have a warpless race, a celebratory warpless race after the tournament. Like,
yeah.
What?
Well, there's a debate on whether this is a warp or a summon, I guess. Like
I've always told people, because I know the DKC2 community does not consider it a wrong warp. It's a goal call, is what they call it. I had a good friend of mine who says, dude, it's a wrong warp. I say, I mean, I get why they don't call it a wrong warp. Also, the fact that in 1.1, or whatever version of the game it is where the wrong warps don't work, this still works. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a summon. I mean, but if you're trying to play every level in the game, I guess you shouldn't call it warpless either. I don't know.
So,
but yeah, it's definitely not a warp.
Unfortunately, Kryptek took a death on the final phase, died to an eagle in the final phase of Crow 2. Got here once again with only one cog, electing to just make sure he clears the level. He's going to have a Diddy Wrap costing him a few more seconds. Really can't afford any more time loss at this point. He's going to have to play pretty solid for all of World 6 and 7, and he's really going to need Chain Link Chamber Infinite, a couple of deaths on Toxic Tower. He's going to need some major help. Because even though they're both on an Arctic stage, there's a couple levels in between. So.
Webwood's definitely taking everyone's soul.
And that's so frustrating because he was right there. I mean, they were both in Parachute Panic. They were both in Webwoods at the same time. And then Webwoods and Parachute Panic really costing him.
No. We're going to throw our girlfriend here, I guess.
And accidentally picked up the barrel. Yeah, I was going to say, he's going to have to lose Diddy right there. He didn't have to. Could have pulled up at some point in there. But I almost feel like that safety barrel is just not worth it. Like, it feels like it creates 7 years of lag, and that it doesn't actually save time over just jumping over the beams.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't, like... I usually try not to pick up the barrel if possible.
Right. Because you are going so fast, I mean, it's sort of an interesting technique. All right, well, that's actually, let's shuttle about that. Let's see if we get the chain link chamber. First try. Looks like we're going to get it. Yep, goes left for a little bit of a safety strat, and he is out of there. No, I know Nocturne has given some moments of silence for chain link chambers in the past. It's kind of it's a weird wrong warp for sure. To me, I thought when I was first learning this game, it was the easiest wrong warp in the game. And then I've also seen days where it just walls people for multiple minutes, including myself.
It's strange. I don't personally think it's a hard wrong warp, but I have gotten stuck in an infinite before. And for like no reason. It's just sometimes your mind doesn't know what to do, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Then it looks like Silvite's not doing he's not doing any snake jumps here.
Probably the best for him to secure the win at this point. At this point with a 3-level lead, not needing any of these. Really just needs to clear all the levels and live on to fight another day. The winner of this will be going on to face KBZ.
KBZ.
Ooh, in the chat right now, he's doing some scouting. I like it.
Yeah, he's a really good player. He picked up this game really fast too.
Oh, is he a newer player to it as well?
Well, I mean, he's not new to Donkey in general, but I mean, he's got a really good time in 1 and 3, and I think he picked this game up like early October or maybe mid-September or something like that. And
really, wow.
Yeah, we had similar PBs in October, and then he just like went crazy. Now he's got like a mid 42, I think, or something like that.
Oh, unfortunately, we are calling Silvite. We're requiring him to sit at the goal for 10 minutes in Stronghold Showdown because he did not go up in 3.
Yeah, I'll let him know in the race channel that there's a 10-minute penalty.
10-minute penalty. Sorry, nerd. Rough. And may I just say, let's take a moment to remember how free up in 3 truly is. 'Cause I hit it every time. Y'all made it sound like it was task-worthy or something. It is so free. That ain't even swag-worthy.
Yeah.
So here we are moving in. Unfortunately, Kryptek, same issue, had to go back. Has had really, outside of just like a very rough Parachute Panic and Web Woods, has had seemingly a very similar run to Silvite. So, had to go back for a Kong as well. Because this trick, as easy it is, it does have a couple of requirements. You do need to bring this barrel up with you, and you cannot have a Kong in it. It needs to be empty. Otherwise, it will not work.
And Dixie's just doing a dance Kryptek screen there. It's funny to watch the second Kong do its like own thing. I don't know.
Just freaking out.
Yeah.
Silvite here did take a hit when going for race skip, so let's see if he can die. Oh, no, he is taking the safety DK barrel, not taking any chances right now.
Yeah, I don't know if he's paying attention. He's probably not paying attention at all. It looks like he's just fully focused on his run. And like checking the race channel every once in a while.
That's interesting because I am a dirty screen watcher. I don't know about other racers. I'm always watching, like, not necessarily the other person's stream, but I'm watching speed gaming. I'm seeing how other people react, and I'm very much looking at where my opponent is.
Yeah, I have the chat up, but that's normally it. I try not to like. I'd rather just like play my best and not worry about like how the other person's doing, because then I think that can like really determine. Oh no! Wow, how did that work?
Oh yeah, there's the backup. He got the backup. Dude,
that's such a weird way to do that trick.
Dude, someone tells Silvite to die 3 times because Kryptek got that. Dude, that was dope as hell. That was awesome.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
I think I actually saw Reiku Rider hit that the other day in his Losers Round 1 match.
Yeah.
As soon as you saw it, you were like, well, okay, this is over. This is rip. And then that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think Raikou Rider had to do that because in 1.0 that glitch doesn't work the same, I don't think.
Oh, okay, so that's actually what he has to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting what happened there. He jumped up for some reason. I don't know if he just fat thumbed the wrong button, possibly, or what necessarily happened right there. Looks like he is throwing his girlfriend. Unfortunately, fell in the water. I think. Oh yeah, no, definitely. This movement's not going to get him there.
No way. Yeah, he's got to get the barrel.
He could elect to grab the barrel. He is taking the barrel. Again, look at this. It's so much lag. So much lag.
Yeah, but he played it off pretty well.
Yeah, he actually played it pretty well. That way, it seems like when your Kong is on top of the barrel, I guess you're loading stuff too quickly with the camera, and it really adds a lot of lag, at least when I was doing it. There, it actually looked faster than just jumping over all things. So, good for him. All right, moving into Chain Link Chamber himself. Not talking too much about Silvite. Any of you who've watched any of the DKC2 tournament matches or have done runs yourself know this is a pretty this is a pretty simple boss fight. Pretty much the only way you can really save time is what is it, the Blubber Buster or the Blunder Buster? Well, I forgot. What's
the Blunderbuss?
I heard Blunder Bust.
That you thought that was a fake gun.
I just like, there's no way this is the real thing.
That's what it's called, yeah.
As long as you just minimize the amount of time it is sucking, then yeah, that's the only way you can really, which can save you a couple of seconds over the course of the level. Actually,
you can save a couple seconds on this fight, and then of course, you don't want to take damage from the clouds, the colored clouds. Those lose your time as well.
It's actually a fair amount of time, isn't it? Because he moves slower, or he doesn't start up as quickly.
Yeah, I think at least for the reds, I think.
Yeah, the red. You do not want to get hit by the red smoke if you're actually in a close race.
So it looks like.
Unfortunately, yeah, it looks like Kryptek in a bit of a Chain Link Chamber Infinite himself.
He's
moving in, jumping up. That's
it looks like he actually had it, but it looked like he just didn't get like. I don't know. Maybe he didn't like let go Y or something. I don't know. It looked really weird. It looked like he had it. Like he got the invis, but like he dropped it. I don't know.
Can you face right when you're picking up invis?
Yeah.
You can.
I think so. Yeah, I believe you can. Yeah, of course. I think that's what you have to do in Mudhole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is a
GG
for Silvite, so good for him. All right, he does have the invisible barrel, and he throws it, and on that note, Kryptek is finally able to get out of Chain Link Chamber, moving into Toxic Tower right here.
Nice.
Let's see if he can finish this off strong. It's unfortunately going to be the end of his tournament run, but still is on pace to have his strongest tournament performance yet. Maybe just ran into a little bit too much today. I gotta say though, he legit had a shot. There was enough slop on Silvite's side, and Kryptek, I mean, he is better than a 54 player. That is what I will say for him. Absolutely. When he's one of those, just like me, it feels like all the time, I never get tiny PBs. I then all of a sudden find like a 3-minute PB one day. He's going to find like a 5-minute PB one day and just feel a lot better about his confidence in running DKC2.
Yeah. If he just has a deathless run, and like just a deathless run and not missing the wrong warps, it looks like he can get at least a 47 or something.
Yeah, that was
like
the
strats that he does. Yeah. Maybe even better. Like it's hard to tell.
I would say on average he goes for better strats than I do. So
yeah, there's
I have a 46. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get Silvite in here while we have Kryptek finish. Let's see.
Oh, Kryptek kissed him with his butt, dude. Kissed the last B with his butt.
Oh man.
Unfortunately, he's gonna have to do the whole parrot section again.
That's the scariest part of any run. Like, especially when you're on pace, like you kind of second guess to whether you want to go for that or not.
It's gonna be a long time till I damage boost through that area. I'm
You
just
gotta just go fast. Like if you go fast and you're confident, you should be fine there. But I could understand electing not to go for that because it's not a big time save. I don't think. All right, so he's gonna. Let's see if he goes for it again.
Hello.
Silvite. Yeah, well, what's up, Silvite?
How's it going?
Silvite? Going good, man. Congrats on your win.
Thank you.
Looks like I don't have the SRL race channel up. Wait, I believe you ended with a 47, maybe?
Yeah, 47-38.
You know what? It doesn't matter because Kryptek just went up in 3, which I saw
man.
you went up in like 3.1. So
I went up in forehead.
There's a, yeah, up in forehead. That's a 10-minute penalty. I hope you know that, right?
What? Yeah, so you better hope he death cycles here for a little while because he's due up to pass you. I'm just saying.
Well, he got a 56 in his last race. I believe in the 57.
Oh, okay. We got some trash talk right here.
I think he's on 55 pace right now, actually.
Oh, you nervous?
Nah.
All right, it comes back. He's kneeling down. Well, he's about to make you nervous. He just despawned the cloaker. All right, we're climbing across the ropes. We're busting out this bee. Last two are despawn. He's going to roll through both of these cat burglars. All right, here we go. Cat burglars? Yeah, that's what they are. That's what I'm calling them. All right, he's moving across. Ooh, so clean. Already into the squawk section. He's going to take the checkpoint. Doesn't even need the checkpoint. Might have needed the checkpoint, but that's okay. And he is taking the race. He's going to be in 2 races today. Blasting his way up. Ooh, unfortunately takes that is such a frustrating hit to take.
I've never seen anybody hit there before. That's
I actually have just in practice, not in a run yet, when you're just trying to optimize that little bit of cutting that corner.
Yeah, I've been hit there in practice all the time.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know it was possible to.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't do it optimally, so that's now I feel.
I mean, I would debate I do anything optimal and anything. Oh, that was a sketchy ending, but no checkpoint, took that immediate hit and is able to clear Screech's.
This goes well.
I believe in the 55, baby. Oh, man. Doesn't that suck you're about to lose so late?
Yeah. I thought I was going to beat 2 German opponents in this tournament, and now I realize that's just impossible.
So while he is waking his way through K-Rool right here, just tell us a little bit about the run. How'd you feel about the whole thing?
I felt like all the mistakes I made were to things that were super easy, and I got all the difficult stuff first try.
Yeah, it was really, I believe you hit, yes, because I remember describing that about your World 4. I thought that was kind of a microcosm of your whole run. Where
absolutely.
You nail Bramble Wrong Warp first try. You nail Mudhole, including its Wrong Warp first try. But you lose Squitter, choose the Spider in 4-1. And now anybody else, like I would just say, okay, well, he's gone. I'm not going to get him. You tried there for probably lost all the time you would have saved on the Scrolly Scroll, and you also died to second place guy in Rickety Race. So really, like, about as bizarre a World 4 as you're ever gonna see. That was really kind of microcosm.
What happened in Hornet Hole was my last race. I lost Squitter, and actually died twice trying to do that section of the Scrolly Scroll glitchless. So I was like, oh no, this can't happen again. And I knew that I could get Squitter back, and I knew that I had missed halfway. So I was like, oh no, this can't happen. Ooh, Kryptek having some trouble there.
Ooh, that might cost him the 10 minutes right there, dude.
I believe.
It is like, so I've missed throws there a couple times now, just in practicing, trying to get gold splits here. If you can just stay calm, even if you do miss the initial hit, because when I first started playing the game, I thought it was, if you missed a hit, it was just like an automatic thing, he hit you. But if you can just like stabilize yourself, you have plenty of time to get to the cannonball and then stabilize, turn left or right, whatever you need to do and throw it.
Oh, no, and he takes a hit.
Takes another hit.
Oh, I took a hit too in the section before that. That was super weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why I had to do most of the last section as Dixie.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but it's like that fifth, I guess it's the 5th phase or whatever. It seems like he like delays before he starts sucking in the air.
Yeah, both the 5th and the 6th hits, I've always felt that way.
Yeah, just so, like you don't want to throw too early. It's like, I don't know.
who almost took an immediate hit there with Dixie, which would have been a little bit scary because you're right here. He had no more DK barrels to go. If he had lost Dixie, he would have been down to one Kong.
Yeah, though, if you're gonna have one Kong for this last part, you definitely want it to be Diddy.
Without a doubt.
How'd you feel about the rest of the run, Silvite?
I thought it was fine. I actually did a race earlier today where I missed Castle Crush. And I think that alone just put my mindset in a really bad place. My mind was in like 3 different places as I was doing this run. And I think that's why I missed a lot of the easy stuff. Because when you're, sort of experienced in this game like I am, it's really easy to train yourself to focus on the difficult stuff like Rambler, Mudhole, CLC.
Sure.
But if you get lost, on number 2 guy, or, just jumping in the barrel after halfway, and that's why you want Diddy on this part. It's really easy to just like lose your focus. In Canis, for example, we'll talk about how he'll just like lose focus and then suddenly he'll be in a stage that he doesn't remember. Just pop in. Just like, oh, I guess I just did Rickety Race and here I am in Mudhole. I'm not at that level yet.
GG to Kryptek right there with a 55-51. Stayed overall pretty consistent. We were talking about it all throughout the race between you two guys that, going into it, both of you had 2 races so far. You had 2 46s. He had a 55 and a 56, respectively. Thinking, okay, this is a pretty big spread right here. Until you guys were on Parachute Panic at the same time. Were you watching the other screen at all?
No, I wasn't.
Actually, yeah, you had taken a couple of deaths there. I think one maybe in like Gusty Glade, possibly. You took another death in Parachute Panic, and he was right there. We said, really, he's got a 54 PB Kryptek, and he is playing well beyond that. Or like, he is capable of, I think one day he could get like a 6-minute PB. It just feels like when he doesn't.
This was my 5th finish run. So.
I was just about to say that.
Welcome, Kryptek. GG on your race, man. Good job on the turn.
Thanks.
Finished run, you said?
Yes, my 5th finish run.
Oh, so you're just like Luke.
It does look very like. So I want to ask you about, because again, I saw, okay, he's got a 54. He's been doing 55s, 56s. He must be going for a lot of safe strats. He doesn't know a lot of strats. What's kind of your mentality when you learn a speed game? Do you just try to learn everything all at once? Do you kind of space it out? What do you do?
I usually play the game casually a couple times again, and then I learn some fast strats, and then I just do runs until I get a good time. I don't really practice. Last time I practiced or like played the game at all before this tournament was in July this year. So.
Oh wow.
Well, you're focused on speed gaming as Wind Waker, right?
Oh yeah, my main game is Wind Waker. Yeah.
Oh, Wind Waker SD or HD?
Yes, SD.
Okay, does it bother you that I just called it SD? I gotta ask.
No, I'm not offended by that.
Okay, because I know some people are like, dude, it doesn't make the other one an SD. It's like you call it so-and-so 1. There's just, whatever. But anyways.
Just call it the OG one.
Well, thank you. So, that provided a way more entertaining race than we thought it was going to be coming into it, considering we saw your PB was only at 54. I have to ask you, now that the tournament's over, are you setting this aside for a while? Do you kind of want to, because I think within a week you could have like a 46, like my PB, if you just like are able to just put an entire run together, or are you probably setting it aside?
I'm probably, I don't know, because I don't really take speedrun that serious that I'm like, I have to grind to get this and that time to be like at this and this spot at the leaderboard. I just kind of play at my pace, and I just kind of, I don't know, take it the way it comes out, and I don't know. I don't really care about a good time. I just want to have like fun at speedrunning.
You're definitely capable of a good time though. Just, if you... I don't think it would take you much to just get a run together. If you could just get one run together, you're gonna get like a 47 or a 46 or something. From what it looks like just by your stats.
It's so admirable of you to just say, I don't really care, I want to do it. We want people to know you're better at this game than a 54, because they're
you're definitely really
well,
good.
Kryptek and I talk. We're like internet friends. Whatever. And so I know that his skill level is better than his PB. So I was not like taking this lightly.
You did not come into this because I was, again, not really knowing you two and your PBs. Just looking at the times, I'm like, if I'm Silvite, I'm like, this is going to be a pretty easy win today. And yet, I mean, Kryptek, were you watching Silvite the whole time, or at least?
I was watching the restream plus commentary, so I was watching and listening, and I was also typing in chat. I took 2 deaths, one of them in the ghost rope. I don't know the name. I took a death there. I ran into the croc with Dixie.
Oh yeah, I saw
because
that.
I was typing in chat. I didn't pay attention to my game because I didn't really. I don't know. I didn't care about the win, I want to say, so I was rather chatting with people. I don't know.
Sure. Well, number one way, a lot of the best speedrunners I know, they're able to keep very calm under pressure, and they're able to it's you have to a certain extent kind of not care because you're not facing an opponent who's affecting you in any way. By the way, shout outs to Silvite for a while I know this is the Garrison from SGDQ 2014. But we thought this was a soft lock for a while.
I can show a soft lock that I found.
Ooh. So yeah, that was a very entertaining race. How did you feel about the whole thing, Kryptek?
I had fun.
Good deal.
That's all that matters then.
And that's all that matters. Well, unfortunately, we are here in the losers rounds, top 48. We are having to send one of our runners home today. That will be Kryptek. I gotta say, if we do another DKC2 tournament, like in a year or something, I hope you show back up because I think you're going to be I think you could make some real noise there if you want to. I'll leave it up to you if you want. But certainly a very good performance for you, I would say, for someone who came in seated so low. So, and as for you, Silvite, to switch attention a little bit, next up you're going to have to take on KBZ. How are you feeling about that match?
Yeah.
I'm interested on your thoughts on KBZ.
So KBZ got where he was after an upset against Kigo. So I was originally in my, bracket planning to face Kigo, who has a 43. KBZ has a pretty low 42 nowadays, I think. So I'm really going to have to play out of my mind. The joke is that we use is I have to play like Goku. If I want to beat KBZ, I think I can do it. The race that he lost to get sent to losers was a time that was above my PB, so it's definitely possible. I hope that when we eventually schedule and do the race, that it'll be fun to watch. And I'm not just gonna sleep on it. I'm gonna give it my all.
Yeah, that's what I had to do against Fizz because I knew like going into that race that it's probably gonna get destroyed.
You say that. KBZ, I saw him obviously in my first round match as he knocked me into losers, but he only got a 45 right there, put up a 48 in his losing match. Yesterday put up a high 44 to knock out Feral Pigman. Even though he's got a low 42, again, you can't put too much focus on just PBs here. We saw that today. Really, this is such a good game for this tournament format. Anything can happen. So you put up 2 46s and a 47. Sure, you could probably view it as it would be an upset, but I don't think it would be that big of an upset. We're talking about like an 11 seed beating a 6 here, and that happens all the time in the basketball tournament. So
yeah, that's why I like this game a lot because it's not so like. If any like top level player can make a mistake. Oh, that's a nice little glitch there.
I missed.
Oh, dude, nice soft lock.
Yeah, I missed. I have to do it again. I have to get shoot out the other side. It doesn't work other side. I don't know. My
favorite part of it is that he ends up still shooting the purple smoke again afterwards. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna give you a shot, Silvite. I think really at this point, we're getting into a lot of these matches. It's really anybody can go home. We got runners like Reeves tonight. You never thought he was going to be this early into losers rounds, but facing off against Cole Thor tonight. Let's actually give you guys just an update because today is maybe the biggest day of any single tournament matches of all time. We just had Silvite take down Kryptek. We're also going to have Mikhail taking on Empties at 6 o'clock tonight. This is all in Eastern Standard Time to note. Puexel in losers round taking on Niake. Jake F taking on Otterlinks at 8 p.m. Waffle 42 taking on Kigu at 9 p.m. Dustpan taking on Scratch Dragon at 10:30. Reeves taking on Kolthor the Barbarian. That will actually be at 11 p.m. over at twitch.tv/speedrunslive, our alternate. And Namix taking on Eason up in winners. That should be an amazing match.
Yeah, that one I'm really interested to see because they're both like, what are they, 3 seconds apart or something in PBs?
They're the 8 and the 9 seeds, I know. So whatever it is, it's obviously pretty.
They both have 41s, and that's going to be a good. I think the Waffle versus Kigu. Is that how you say it?
It's Kigo.
Kigo.
Okay. That's going to be a good one too, I think, because Kigo is pretty good.
Yeah, I'll be commentating a couple of them tonight. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like you got a couple coming up here. You're taking Puexel and Niake, and Jake F taking on Otterlink. So, you got any predictions for those 2 matches that you're calling tonight?
I'm gonna predict an upset right now. I think that Jake is gonna take down Otter.
Wow!
I am gonna say the same thing.
That's a Jake.
Wow!
Spam your Jake hand styles for Jake.
2 people going with the upset. I really think no one is safe in this tournament now that we're down to some of these later rounds. Even Void, I mean, he performs like he did in the last match. I think Antilles could make some noise. So,
Antilles versus Void is the match of the week for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's the 1 in the 17. Wow. Well, guys, once again, lots and lots and lots of DKC2 going on tonight. We're actually having a little bit of a break right here at 6 p.m. Eastern, so in just a little under 2 hours from right now, it's all going to pick back up. Again, kicking off with Mick Ale and Emptesis. Is that what I'm supposed to be saying?
Yeah, it's Emptesis.
Emptesis. And I'll be facing the winner of that match in the next round, so I'll definitely... my eyes will be glued to the television set for that. My computer television set for sure.
Television,
so,
nice.
Yes. I know, we have television still.
Are you going to go back into the hyperbolic time chamber to train for that, Spike?
Dude, I've been training all day. I've been working on Fine Clip, on Cleaver Big Boy. I looked at Lava Fly. I left it immediately. Stuff like Lockjaw. Dude, I figured out the Diddy wrong warp in Mudhole Marsh. Nice. I finally figured out what I was doing wrong. I was running on the screen too fast. Yep. I was loading that third beetle like a pixel early or something.
Yep.
Can't do that. So yeah, I finally am learning Web Woods. I think I'm gonna need to learn a lot more to beat either one of these opponents, but I'll see what they're able to post tonight, and should be fun.
I wanted to show you that at STR, but Mill couldn't jump on the side of the cannonball for some reason.
That's the only reason why I've been giving up 5 seconds.
Because Mill's like, here, let me just try it, and then took 20 minutes to just land on right next to the cannon. It made no sense.
It's so funny what little things in speed gaming that just bother some runners but don't bother others. Because I'm not picking on Mill. I have lots of those myself, but I've never thought about accidentally falling in that cannon or in the pit. I just jumped at that spot. It never was something that bothered me, but it clearly was disturbing him. We had to make a save state with him standing right there to make sure we got through it. So. Well, awesome. So once again, guys, make sure to check out all 7 other matches that we got going on tonight and many, many more matches coming down the line. This is the DKC2 tournament hosted by Speed Gaming and also on one of our sister channels, Speedruns Live. Until then, I guess we'll go ahead and sign out. I am Spike Vachita, joined by...
Blunt Bunny.
And our 2 competitors.
Hi, I'm Kryptek.
Hi, I'm Silvite. In chat, what is the name of this area of the island?
Wait, what? I have to look at the schedule.
Wait, it's K-Rappy Keep, I think.
K-Rappy Keep? Is that your final answer?
Probably Rappy Keep.
Yeah. Can I use a lifeline?
Alright. If you
Chat,
want to.
let's ask the audience.
K-Rappy.
Oh, looks like, okay, well, K-Rappy Keep. Alright, well, must be...
I mean, the chat is never wrong, I hear. So.
Alright, K-Rappy Keep. What? What happened?
Oh, man.
Bitch. I have to get another coin. All right, I'm done. I'm Silvite. I'll be back later for more races. I hope you all will be too.
We'll
Thanks,
see you guys soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.